To all of you. Welcome to yet another Zoom call organized by Jungle Bells. Jungle Bells is an exclusive women's wildlife group. We are into wildlife related activities, conservation, and wildlife tours. Before we begin, I would like to request all of you to turn your cameras off and switch off your microphones, please. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for the guest, please type them in the chat box and we will address them after his talk. Also, if you want to receive further communication from us about our events, please type in your email addresses and phone numbers in the chat box. Well, something about our guest of today's webinar, Meyipokyim Aier. Meyipokyim Aier, sir, is an IFS, is a postgraduate MSc Botany from Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. He was inducted into IFS in 1985, born in Maharashtra cadre. While in Maharashtra, he served in different positions such as Deputy Conservator of Forest, Zunnar, Shahada, Nashik. He also worked in FDCM Limited, Nashik as Divisional Manager. Thereafter, worked as Conservator of Forest Wildlife, Nashik on promotion, followed by Joint Director Social Forestry, Pune. Post which he worked as Chief Conservator of Forest, Aurangabad, followed by Additional Commissioner, TRTI, Pune for a short period. Further on promotion, he was posted as Additional Chief Conservator of Forest, Wildlife, Nagpur, in charge of Vidarbha Tiger Reserves and Sanctuaries. Later, he was transferred to Nagaland on deputation. He served for 2 years and on promotion to Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, he returned to Maharashtra and retired from Nagpur in 2018. Immediately after his retirement, he returned to Nagaland and served as Project Director, Nagaland Forest Management Project, assisted by JICA till July 2020. Thank you for being with us, sir. Welcome to Jungle Bells.
Thank you.
Yes. I will like to start today's discussion by a very basic question. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood, where you grew up, and how you got interested in wildlife, and why you decided to do IFS?
Thank you, ma'am. The question is very simple but difficult to answer. I grew up in a small township where both my parents were working as teachers in government school. And later on, I shifted to another school because the school which my parents were teaching had only up to 6th standard. From there, I shifted to another school. Then from there, I went to St. Edmond's College, Shillong. Then did my graduation. Then after that, did my post-graduation from Niho. Okay, as far as joining the IFS is concerned, it is just, it was a matter of securing job, preferably a government job. Because during those days, options were very limited, either to become a doctor or an engineer or compete for a competitive exam. So my search for job culminated in joining IFS. And however, we were always fascinated by the beauty of nature.
That's great, sir. That's nice to know. I'll come to the next question. You're originally from Northeast, but you started and spent most of your career in Maharashtra. What were some of the difficulties you faced? We have heard you, and you're extremely fluent in Marathi, I should say that.
Yes,
yes,
How did you overcome the language barrier? We just wanted to know that.
Actually, yes, that you are very right. Actually, people from Northeast, they are often seen as, non-Indians because of their different looks and culture. However, the moment I landed up in Maharashtra, I consider myself very lucky. Senior officers, the subordinates, and the people of Maharashtra in particular, They were so, it was so overwhelming. They treated me as their guest and loving friend. And I have encountered only good and excellent people, and I have maintained excellent relationship with those people right from the beginning till date. Yes, language was definitely a barrier. It was difficult for me to communicate, especially I'm being from a non-Hindi speaking region. However, I'll tell you a small story. I used to tell my subordinates, my seniors, all whomever I met, I used to tell them, please speak to me in Marathi only, no other language. And I maintained one register. I started writing Marathi script, either from the newspaper or anything, any government document. I just kept on writing till I finished the big register, big thick register. That's how I became conversant with Marathi.
So you write
Not
the
audible.
script. You write the script as well.
I'm not very expert, but yeah, I write.
Oh, that's awesome! Great.
Mm.
So do you have to pass an exam?
Yeah,
Before?
we had to pass one exam. It is organized by it is conducted by Directorate of Language. So out there we have to score at least 50% in both the papers.
Okay.
Paper 1 and paper 2.
I see. Okay, that's great. We would like to hear some Marathi from you as well, maybe during the course.
As I go on, I'll speak some. Why not?
Okay, great. So, sir, you worked both, when you were working in Maharashtra, you worked both in the social forestry and the wildlife departments. So, do these both present different sets of challenges? And, can you shed some light on what is done in each field?
Yes, certainly. Certainly, social forestry and forest and wildlife present different sets of challenges. In social forestry, the main responsibility is to deal and then work with farmers and promote them and execute activities in non-forest land, especially the community land or the individual farmers. Those lands we have to work in it, and it also aims at dissemination of forestry knowledge, techniques to the farmers and local populace. Also, it includes even the extension. One of the activities and the objective is also the extension job, and imprinting the importance of forestry and environment among school children. We can appropriately call them young or the future generation.
Okay.
And whereas forest and wildlife management or protection or conservation, it is different from social forestry. The activities are mainly carried out or executed in forest land, or we can call it the reserve forest. Although we all know that wildlife, they don't know any boundaries. And then, in forest department, it deals mainly with, protection job. Then, you have to deal with the smugglers, the poachers, and encroachment. And mainly we can say the biotic interferences, and also the overall development of the health of forest and protection and management of wildlife.
Have you ever faced any, poaching? Do you have any poaching incidents or any man-animal conflict type of thing that you may have faced in your career?
Oh yes, we have man-animal conflict was terrible in Chandrapur, Chandrapur district when I was posted in Nagpur. So every day, daily, one or the other incident, man-animal conflict will take place. Many of them will get seriously injured, and then some of them lost their lives. So those kind of conflicts, especially with tigers and leopards, I have encountered. Not only encountered but experienced. So So many incidences have taken place during my time also.
Right, and it's still happening. So
Yeah. And then, of course, incidences like, uh, uh, catching leopards and then trapping leopards, sorry, not catching, but then trapping leopards. And so many divisions like Junner division was one of the, in the peak when, all those leopard problems took place. And see, this tiger man-animal conflict in the sense came mainly with the tiger. It was mainly in Chandrapur district. So I have encountered, I have experienced many man-animal conflicts.
so then, I think the last 2 years of your career, sir, you were on a deputation, back to Nagaland. So
Yes.
how did that feel to be back, and
Yeah,
were you able to adjust?
I was on deputation to Nagaland. It was, from 2016, as you said in the beginning, 2016 to 2018. Nagaland is a totally different state, and in the sense it is unique because mainly it is, land owning pattern is unique. The Constitution of India, uh, Article 371A provides that the land owning pattern is totally different from the mainland. The ownership of the land is with the people in the community.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you tell us something, maybe some interesting facts about Nagaland, or something?
Yeah, see, homecoming was always, it was very joyful, and then it was very heartening and felt very happy.
Right.
And then there's a fun fact. Many of my friends could not recognize me. I also couldn't do so. So, that's how I have, come across many incidences during my stay for 2 years out here. Anyway, about Nagaland, I'll speak about Nagaland. Nagaland is a very tiny state, as big as a little smaller than Ahmednagar district in Maharashtra.
Oh.
Geographically, and the population is just 20 lakhs. And although the state is small, we have got a lot of unique qualities and unique things that the unique points are there in Nagaland. See, let us have a look at the uniqueness of Nagaland. First, I think you can see in the screen also, we have got the tallest rhododendron that is found in Mount Jafu in Kohima district. That was recorded in 1993, and at the time of recording, it was 108 feet in height. So that was, this has, gone into the Guinness Book of World Records. Now, coming back to tallest, we can see tallest rice. Tallest rice also, it is 8 feet, 8.5 tall, 185 tillers, and 510 grams in each air. So you can see the tallest, what we call the tallest rice plant. And I say the third one is the hottest chili. If you come down to Nagaland, why don't you try this hottest chili? This is the hottest chili in the world. So we have got the hottest chili in our state. And coming to this rare orchids, we have got about 400 species of rare orchids. Yes.
Wow.
I don't know. Yes, it is rare orchids, right?
Yes. Look at some pictures. I think we have some.
Yes. In the picture it is rare orchids. So we've got about 400 and yeah. This is what we wanted to tell you about this. Look at the chili on the right hand side.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
quite spicy.
And then these are the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh,
And then if you look at the, about this species of orchids, there are 400 species of orchids. If you go to the next, let's see. Can we go to the next slide?
yeah. We have the gibbon.
Yeah. This is, again, a hollow gibbon we have in our state. Next.
Yeah.
This is the plight trichoban. This is a pheasant. And, this plight trichoban is the state bird of Nagaland.
Oh, okay.
It is found only in this region.
Oh, yes.
And we have got this Mrs. Hume's par-tail pheasants. This is also
beautiful.
unique to Nagaland.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. And then if you want to know something about rhododendron, rhododendron forests are confined to hilltops only. And then it grows between 2,080 meters to 3,500 meters. And rhododendron also, which grows rigorously and often forms pure stands in the higher slopes, in the higher reaches, sorry. And regarding biodiversity status of Nagaland, we have got about, plant diversity, we've got about 1,900 genera and 4,700 species.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So these are the uniqueness about Nagaland. I just wanted to share with you, and then if you have any other question, then you can ask me.
Yeah, so we just wanted to, if you can tell us a little bit more about the biodiversity in Nagaland, and also, a little bit more about the tourism scene in Nagaland, because
yeah. See, about the biodiversity, plant diversity, I have already told you, and then diversity about this uniqueness about Nagaland, I have already told you, and then one uniqueness thing about Nagaland is the biodiversity conservation. So we have a biodiversity conservation area, and then those biodiversity conservation areas are actually community land. And these are, actually demarcated, delineated by the village council, by the villagers only.
Oh.
Actually, government mainly, they do not indulge much into this community land, because community land actually mainly it is governed by the local village councils. Village councils mean this is a Gram Panchayat.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Gram Panchayat in what we call out here in Nagaland is the village council. They are so strong, self-governed body. So what they do is that the village council, they delineate certain areas and they declare as a community areas. Out there in Nagaland, what is happening is 88% of the land, it is owned by the private, owned and managed by individuals, clans, and village and district councils. Actually, we have got only 12% of the land is only government owned. 88% is community owned or individual or clan owned by. So what we do is that we have got about 400 identified community conservation areas in Nagaland. And what is the criteria? What we follow is, community conservation areas are being managed by the communities, not by the government.
No.
And community conservation areas have been declared by resolution passed in the village council. Regulation regarding ban on hunting, logging, felling, fishing, jhum cultivation by the villagers in the CCA, that is being followed strictly. So there's totally ban on hunting, fishing, and then, logging, felling, whatever, etc.
Oh,
And then, there's always a memorandum of understanding between the forest department and the community. Am I audible?
yes, yes, sir.
Okay. See, you can see in the screen some of the, some of the biodiversity areas
Yes.
which has been declared already biodiversity area in Mokshong district. This is just one of them.
There's a lot of areas that are.
Yeah, there are a lot of areas that that is under consideration, and then some of them have already been declared as community conservation areas.
Okay.
And then forest department, we work as a facilitator only. We don't do much about about the conservation about in this particular area. We work as a facilitator. And then we collect, and then we take, we guide them how to go about. And then, this is totally managed by the villagers.
That's great. I mean, finally the locals, realizing the importance of forests and working towards it is the best way to, conserve biodiversity, I think.
Yeah, and then these areas are virgin forests. There was no cultivation earlier, and then now, of course, hunting was there, and then fishing was there. However, now due to the intervention of the forest department and the NGOs and the people, they have come to realize that all these activities should be totally banned.
And that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So can you, shed some light on tourism, like I mentioned? Like, is there a sanctuary that's popular in Nagaland that we can visit, or
See,
what kind of
wildlife
activities are there?
Okay, wildlife tourism is not well developed out here in Nagaland. One major festival that is being observed every year in Nagaland, that is Hornbill Festival. You must have heard about it.
Right.
And then every year it is observed from 1st to 10th of December. And many visitors from, not only from our mainland, but India, but also from abroad, they visit the state during this festival. And, during this festival, the state showcase traditional dances, traditional, form of cultures, and also the modern music, like, Western music and Hindi music. All those things are showcased in this festival. Also, Naga cuisines, then chili eating competition, the hottest chili eating competition, as I told you earlier. And then, wrestling, and then all sorts of competitions are organized during this festival. So I think this is the only so far, recognized by throughout the world. And I have seen myself, so many foreigners and then the mainland Indians visiting this particular festival in many numbers. Yeah.
Look forward to doing that.
Regarding this general, I just want to add one more thing regarding this general tourism. I think it is all because of the difficult terrain. The tourism has not been developed well, because the traveling is very tedious and time consuming.
Yes, that's true. Okay, shifting a little bit, sir. We've been hearing about the Amur falcon, visiting Nagaland every winter. So, can you tell us a little bit more about, the migration of this interesting bird?
Yes. I think I've seen it myself. Amur falcon, yes, we all know is a raptor. And then the migration starts from Mongolia. It starts from Mongolia. And then it is, I think it is a village called Pankti. That is the first stop and then from there onwards, they move on. They move onwards to South Africa. So regarding this animal, this raptor bird, yeah.
So please continue. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. The congregation takes place. I think this is the right second week of October till the first week of December or so. The congregation takes place, and then millions. I think the people, you say it is about 2 millions or something. We have never counted that, but then about 2 millions. The birds they congregate in this particular in this particular place. They feed on insects and small animals, and then they gain a lot of weight. It seems somebody has already measured the weight, and then they gain a lot of weight. Once they are mm, fully fed, then they take the onward journey to South Africa.
Oh.
And so far, as far as I'm concerned, I'll just tell you one thing. There has been tacking of this bird. See, about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 birds have been tagged, but so far only one is active. And this active bird named Longling is been it was tagged 4 years back. So this is the 5th year. I think still active, and then somebody told me that that bird is already reached somewhere India or something like that. So I just overheard that day before yesterday.
Okay.
So that is how the tagging has taken place. Only four or five of them so far, and only one is active right now. Regarding this bird, earlier people used to hunt them in lakhs. This is not only few birds here and there, but in lakhs people used to hunt them for their meat. So people used to consume the meat. However, with the intervention of forest department, NGOs, and at the same time, not only local NGOs, but also from mainland India, even abroad, so many interventions have taken place. And now the Nagaland has been declared as the world capital of Amur Falcon.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you find them during winter mainly, right? Or
no, this is not winter.
so you're not audible. I don't know if it's...
See, look at those. You can have a look. You can see those congregations. Am I audible?
Yeah, now you are. I think we lost you for...
The congregation is taking place right now. This is the right season.
Wow. Okay.
So, it starts from first week of October. It lasts till first week of November, or maybe second week of November. It varies from year to year. So that's how this is the right season where the congregation is taking place.
No.
So, any other questions? Because
there have been awards.
There have been appreciation from so many, institutions. You can have a look. You can just see from in the screen,
Right.
And then so many awards have been received. And then regarding this Amur Falcon, and
wonderful.
The villagers are taking, very. I'll just tell you one thing about this. There's awards have been received from Scotland. That is a Save the Species Award from Royal Bank of Scotland. You can see in the screen yourself. And then Pallipara Foundation Award, Tigerland Biodiversity Conservation Award, release of special postal cover to commemorate this thing. And we are Amur Falcon capital of the world. That is the tag we have been given to.
That's wonderful.
So that is, that is all about so far about Amur falcon. If you have any other questions, then you can ask me.
So there were, if you can tell us a little bit about, the potential threats to
We've, I've got. I think you've heard enough about this potential, but then the threats.
Yeah.
Major threat is yes, you can see the forest fires. This forest fire is not very simple. It is, this forest fire, it is natural forest fire, not natural, but then, mainly the forest fire take place because of the jhum cultivation slash and burn. What is jhum cultivation? Jhum cultivation is cutting down the fresh forest and then let them dry for a few months and then burn them. And after a few months, then after burning it, then sowing of paddy or sowing of vegetables and things like that, it takes place. So this is one of the main reasons why the natural forest is being destroyed. Biodiversity is being destroyed in Nagaland.
That's one of the main potential threats.
Potential, yes, we've got a lot of potential, especially about the nature tourism or biodiversity tourism, or we can say wildlife tourism.
Right.
Wildlife is not very common, but what I'm saying is, ecotourism can be one of the main, major, you can say, potential for Nagaland. See, the problem in Nagaland is we've got a lot of potential areas, but the problem is the traveling, reaching the place because of hilly terrain and because of, what we call time-taking travel from one place to another. So I think in near future, there may be some helicopter services or people, the government is thinking about the helicopter services to those areas, far-flung areas near the border, like Myanmar border. There are so many beautiful places, but then it is unapproachable by road because of that hilly terrain, because of the, unapproachable roads and the bad roads, we can say, or because of the very heavy and inaccessible terrain.
Okay. So I think we had a question about, the major conservation issues. So one of our viewers has also is also wanting to ask that. So Yash Lunkar, he wants to know that how are the geographical problems for conservation in Northeast, because it's close to the international boundary and, because of the mountainous region, mountainous areas. So,
can you repeat the question, please?
He's asking how are the geographical problems for conservation in Northeast, as it is close to, the international boundary and to the mountainous regions. Are there issues because of that in conservation? Because
see, I will mainly concentrate on the state of Nagaland because see, every state has got its own problems, pros and cons, and then especially like Manipur has got its own problem. Then Tripura has got its own problem because the international boundary. It borders, Tripura borders with Bangladesh, Manipur borders with Myanmar, even Mizoram also borders with Myanmar and things like that. So every state has got its own problem. As far as Nagaland is concerned, the conservation issue is mainly the problem is mainly the jhum cultivation, slash and burn, and unabated, uncontrolled logging. Uncontrolled logging, which is taking place. And at the same time, some villages in some areas, there is a heavy hunting, not poaching, I don't say, it is poaching. But then the heavy hunting of wild animal is taking place. Only for, it's for hobby and for consumption of meat, not for trading, not for commercial trading. So that kind of problems we're facing. So far, you have heard about rhino problem in Assam, in Kaziranga. So it's a commercial poaching. It's a commercial. It is used for commercial. The poaching is taking place because for commercial purpose. But in Nagaland, it is not for commercial purpose. It is for hobby. It is a hobby. At the same time, is mainly for consumption of meat. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one more viewer of ours, Pushkar. He wants to know which are the areas to study gibbons and whom to contact for permissions for research work for an ongoing project.
For ongoing projects like what?
He wants
May I
to
know
know
what
about study of gibbons. Pushkar, you want to unmute yourself and
you can ask directly to me regarding what?
Sir,
I have unmuted.
Okay.
I have a friend of mine who is in US. He's a US based scientist. He's a primatologist. He's studying gibbons in various areas. He has done the studies in Southeast Asia up to Papua New Guinea, and he wants to study the Hulog gibbons in Northeast. So one area was the Hulog gibbon sanctuary. Another area, because now we are online, you are saying that there are Hulog gibbons in Nagaland. I would like to explore the possibility whether it can be studied there.
Yeah, it can be studied. Why not? Why not? Because you just have to come and then take permission from the local authorities, from the local villagers, or because there are some identified areas where the land belongs to the community or a particular village. Yeah. So the only thing is that you have to approach the local administration first, take the permission from the government, forest department, and then I think there should not be any problem about this holocaupon.
Which are the areas in Nagaland?
Because for any other studies for that reason.
Yeah, because I have been to Nagaland. So which are the areas where we can do the study? The population of gibbons.
Regarding the specific for holocaupon or some other
Hulog gibbons only.
Yes, you can see holocaupon is mainly found in Arunachal, right? You're also aware of that, yeah. So, however, holocaupon is also found in places in in some interior places like Kifri, like Moon, like all those, and then what else? Another place near Fake also, yes, Fake, Kifri, and then Moon. So, and those areas, there's once you decide to come for the study, I think there should not be any problem to take the permission or give you the permission.
Okay.
If you want the details, then why don't you mail to me and then I'll get back to you and then I'll give you the details.
Okay.
Yeah. See, my friend, I'm also not from Northeast. I spent my entire life in Maharashtra. So now I'm also, trying to get acquainted with all those details now.
Okay.
Yeah. Please bear with me.
Sure.
And then otherwise you can write to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can text me your mail ID.
I'll pick it up. I think Madam Himangi, you must be having my mail ID.
Yes. Himangi, if you want to type it in the chat, maybe we can do that. You can.
Sorry?
Okay.
No,
we will type his email ID in the chat and you will be able to see it.
Yeah, okay.
We will send it to you, Pushkar.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, so I mean, we wanted to know a little bit about the culture of the, the tribes in Nagaland. Anything that you can tell us? Impacts?
Okay. Actually, see, I missed out that particular point. Actually, there's 60 major tribes in Nagaland. And we don't have any primitive tribes. And if you look at these people, they are all very well educated. Most of the youngsters are at least a graduate, okay?
Yeah.
Or if not, at least a 10th standard pass or a 12th standard pass. What is overwhelming, is that this region is is full of highly educated people.
Oh wow, okay, that's wonderful.
Women folks, they are not less than 85% literates. And I think if you take the census now, it will definitely cross 90% for me about the literacy rate.
Wow.
Women folks, you'll find them in the street driving vehicles, take active parts in politics as well as, what we call day-to-day activities, leading from the front. And at the same time, most of the schools, most of the university, the toppers are from the women folks. So I think we are progressing. The unfortunate part of this particular region is due to it's all because of the communication problem. We cannot link to the mainland. We cannot do a lot of, we cannot do marketing with the mainland. And then communication is the main problem. Because of that, we are still underdeveloped, unlike Maharashtra.
Right.
Yeah. And then regarding the tribes, every tribe has got its own dialect. However, the main communication, we communicate with each other in English or local dialect called Nagamis. Is a mixture of Nagamis, Bengali, and all that. So we call it Nagamis. So these are the two languages we communicate with each other. Official language is, English, and every tribe has its own traditions. They are, what we call, they have got different types of festivals at different times, and they wear different, attires, or we can say different clothes. And then you can identify, if you are familiar to know this, you can identify one tribe from the other through their attire.
Oh, okay. So it's that distinct. Every tribe has its own.
Yeah, it's very distinct, yes.
Okay. That's wonderful.
But as I said, people from this region also trying to catch up. The only thing is that opportunity is very limited. And the problem in Nagaland or the smaller states, like, hilly states are, because of the communication, no big industries are there. So, even medium scale industries are also not there. So that is the problem why people, this region is not progressing.
So, sir, what is the main livelihood for people? Farming or means of livelihood?
See, okay. It's a main livelihood is, people out here, they look for government jobs. Only government jobs. Okay. Whether by hook or crook, they should get government job.
Okay.
Unlike, our Maharashtra state. Because people, there are so many opportunities, so many companies are there, so many opportunities are there. But unlike Maharashtra, because, out here, there's a small state, underdeveloped state, and then not much opportunities. Because of that, people look for government jobs. So that's a permanent job. You're secured. Once you are secured, then it's, done forever till your retirement. That kind of a, feeling is there always. But I feel there are so many educated youngsters are there, both technical as well as non-technical. I think given an opportunity or setting up an industry out here, I think we can develop tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think that the youth are then, leaving the state to come out, into other states of India to find work or to, progress in life?
See, but then the communication should be, the communication system should be in a perfect condition. It should be very well connected.
Right.
See, we've got an airport. With just one airport in Nagaland. That is also, located in Dimapur. That is because Dimapur is just adjoining to Assam. So it is in the plains.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to develop an airport in the hilly regions.
Right.
And there's no railway. The railway link is only 10 kilometers in Nagaland. Oh, it is connected only in Dimapur. That is, Dimapur is the only place where railway is connected with. So these are the difficulties, no?
Right. Absolutely.
And then, of course, the population is not much. The density is just 119 per square kilometer. I think Mumbai and then others, the metros are more than 500. Is it?
Yes, probably.
Am I correct? I don't know.
I'm also not sure, sir, but yes, probably in that range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was really, really nice talking to you, sir, and hearing about, the issues.
Sir, I have a question.
Please. Any question?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah. Anuj, bola.
Sir, Maharashtra कधी येत आहे?
अरे तुम्ही कुठे म्हणजे आता anyway.
I was a silent listener. So we miss an officer like you who has changed Indian, especially the Maharashtrian forest. And with your devotion, we have achieved a lot of things in Maharashtra. So, sir, we were just wondering when can we have you back in Maharashtra?
नाही असं बोलू नका तुम्ही. आपण असं करूया. After the COVID is over, definitely we're meeting. Okay. I don't know, but then it is when it is going to, is going to get over. I'm not very sure, but then once things settle down, I'm definitely coming to Pune. From Pune, you take me anywhere.
Great. So I should mention one thing. Though he was at a position of additional PCCF, he was always accessible. So any issues, we could just walk into his cabin. We could just call him. So every time, whenever there was some issue, we had Meyipokyim Aier in place, and he used to see to it that the problem was solved. So
I still remember where you guys not only in Nagpur but in Aurangabad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
याद है आपको? Schools में जाके हम लोगों ने कितना shows किया?
खिचड़ी यानी पापड़.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
That's good, Anuj. You came on the screen and sir spoke some Marathi. So that's.
You forced me to.
Sorry.
ते खूप सुंदर मराठी बोलतात.
Anyway, it's okay.
Can I ask one question now?
Yeah, please.
May I ask? Hello, good evening, sir. It's very nice
Good
to
evening.
listen from somebody like you. Sir, I just had one question for youngsters, children or youth of today who are interested in wildlife and forest conservation. Would you suggest that IFS is a good career option for them? As a parent of a young boy, do you think we parents should be encouraging children to get into careers like IFS?
Absolutely. Why not? Once you get, once you get inducted into IFS, you can go for a further training, specialized wildlife training for 11 months, for 10 months or 11 months in, Dehradun. Yes. That is a diploma course, specialized. And you can always join Wildlife Institute of India. Why not? You can always go there on deputation. You can be on deputation. Many of my batchmates were on deputation to Wildlife Institute of India. And then once you become an expert, I think, Wildlife Trust of India, of course, BNHS, all those people will just flock in.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But then definitely, surely, please go for IFS, Indian Forest Service. You'll get lots and lots, many opportunities, once you get inducted into the service.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I think, so we've, we have asked you all the questions we have received and whatever we wanted to ask you and know from you. So I think I'll request Sanjay Deshpande to extend a vote of thanks. Sanjay, if you can unmute yourself.
Before that, Sanjay भाऊ,
Yes,
जरा
Dada.
2 मिनट थांबा. 2 मिनट थांबा. मी बोलतोय, मी एक शब्द बोलतोय.
Yes.
I welcome all the participants, all to Nagaland, especially during this Hornbill Festival.
Right.
You will learn a lot. You will experience good things. At the same time, I'll take you to some virgin forests.
Yes, that'll be wonderful.
So you all are welcome. Yes.
I think Jungle Bells will arrange a tour to Nagaland, sir, soon. And
why not? You please do come during this Hornbill Festival.
Absolutely.
But this year I don't think it is going to happen because of this pandemic.
Because of the COVID?
This COVID, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll be in touch with you, sir, and we'll figure something out for sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because during this festival, hotels are booked for 1 year in advance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's
we may be too late.
No, you can't be late. My house is there, so I can always accommodate you people. No issue.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, Sanjay.
Sanjay Bhau.
Hi.
No.
मोहिदा, इट्स वंडरफुल आपको सुनना आणि तुम्ही खूप छान बोललात. आणि तुमचा स्क्रीन प्रेझेन्स हा अतिशय वंडरफुल आणि करिश्मॅटिक असतो. सो इट्स गुड टू सी यू अँड I wish all the best to you. I won't say second inning. That way you are two-way brand ambassador. You are brand ambassador of Maharashtra Forest in Nagaland, and now you are Nagaland ambassador in Maharashtra also.
Yeah, so, why not? Now next time
it's a two-way ambassador, and we are so happy to associate it. I'm sure with Jungle Bells, all activities and Jungle Bells awareness program and everything, they will get benefited with your knowledge and your presence with them. और डेफिनेटली आम्ही नक्की येणार नॉर्थ ईस्ट मध्ये, कारण दॅट इज समथिंग रिअली युनिक. सो आय एम हॅपी टू बी असोसिएटेड माय सेल्फ अलॉंग विथ आरती, अनुज अँड हेमांगी विथ दिस जंगल बेल. And thank you very much for being on this platform, and we definitely, it will be again and again, we will be meeting you on different forms. Guys, about Jungle Bell, as you know, they are primarily for the city women or all women, to make them aware about wildlife conservation and importance of wildlife in our life. Many people don't know much or don't think much that they are responsible. Foreign department है ना, क्या करने का अपने को wildlife conservation के बारे में. So it's not. See, it's everybody's responsibility, and I am happy why Jungle Bell, Anuj, Hemangi, and Aarti are making aware mainly women to this particular aspect of our life, which is very, very important. And then it's officers like Pokim sir and many others who give their all years, 5 years, wandering in forest and meeting people and conserving forest for us, which makes our life wonderful. So via Jungle Bell, we are always grateful to all forest officers along with Pokim sir, is all I can say. Guys, now next our speaker, which will be on the 2nd of November, which is again Monday, first Monday of November. It will be one very interesting personality who will be with us, Amruta Rane. She is a lady, Puneche's ahe, she is Punekar, and she went into forest to conserve hornbills, great Indian hornbills and other species of hornbills. That's a conservation, and titla tribes, Yashi म्हणून Arunachalच्या tribes are. So to make them aware, to make them see, as Pokim sir just shared, just in one state of Nagaland there are 60 tribes. Now imagine 7 sisters, 7 far eastern states, how many tribes and their cultures, and they all depend, because there are no industries and no jobs, they all are dependent on forest, and our population is growing. So it's people like Amruta, who again, whose role is as important as forest department, and we will definitely, it will be great pleasure and honor to know Amruta and her work in next episode of Jungle Bell. So stay glued to all updates from Jungle Bell. Another aspect is Jungle Bell not only just organizes webinar and tours, but try to keep helping forest department and people related to forest by every way. In such, we are Jungle Bell are distributing sweaters to forest guards and guides in Melghat jurisdiction and smaller sanctuaries in Melghat like Nanganga and Tipeshwar and Umred Karanla and Melghat sort of thing. So you can join this drive, you can donate. These are tough times, we all know, and it's our togetherness for the less privileged, which will help them. And even if you can make coming winter, which are very hard in Central India, very tough in Central India, if you can make one person's life warm by giving us sweater, you have earned your wildlife conservation drive, is all I can say. So do join Jungle Bell's this drive of wildlife conservation by donating sweater, which we call as a share a hug with a needy person, which is a forest related guy. Thank you very much. Team Sanjeevani is always proudly associated with Jungle Bell and wildlife conservation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sanjay, and thank you, Meyipokyim sir. Would like to definitely thank Sanjay of Sanjeevani Builders. He's been our mentor and support, throughout this venture, and we would really like to, heartfelt thanks to him as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, once again. Have a good night. Thank you to all the participants as well for attending. Have a good night, everyone.